Hello guys, this is my journal for Wednesday, the 11th of November. My name is David and I'm also known as the Spread Doctor. On Monday, I said the market was a tale of two indices. Well, that theme carried on into today and we continue to see equity markets diverging, the main indices that is. The Dow was pretty much flat on the day. It closed down about 0.08%, but the Nasdaq on the other hand was up 2%, and the S&P was up about 0.75%, about 3/4 of a percentage point. So the theme from Monday of one index going up and another one going down seemed to continue. And from the heat map, you can clearly see that technology is doing really well. Microsoft is up 2.6%, Apple about 3, Facebook 1.49%, Amazon up 3%, Cisco up 1.5. So you can clearly see the technology sector did quite well. Intel, Oracle, AMD. Anyway, you get the picture. Technology did quite well. The Dow didn't do particularly well. So that divergence carried on from Monday. And I saw an interesting headline today, and it was in Pfizer. You recall on I think it was a Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. Pfizer stock rallied really hard on Monday after they came out with their good COVID-19 test results. Well, after Pfizer reported some fantastic good news about their COVID-19 test results, some unfortunate headline about the company also hit the wires that wasn't particularly good for the stock. The CEO of Pfizer sold about $5.6 million worth of Pfizer stock at a price of $41.94 on Monday as the stock rallied. Now, there is no alleged wrongdoing on the part of the CEO because the sale was a part of a pre-scheduled 10b5-1 trading plan. But you've got to admit that the optics do not look particularly good for the stock. So this was where the stock was on Friday, around here. And then Monday he just gapped up to this one. And you can clearly see there was a lot of selling going into it. And he sold at 41.94. So around here, around the high, and it has since come back down. So like I said, there's no alleged wrongdoing. It was a pre-scheduled plan, but it doesn't particularly look good on a day that it gapped up for the CEO to be selling about 133,000 shares. I mean, it doesn't exactly shout out to investors that, guys, my stock has got a lot of headroom to go and it's going to continue to rip higher. So I think a few investors followed suit and sold with him, and that's why the gap up on Monday wasn't particularly good and seems to be coming gradually back down. But like I said, no wrongdoing has been alleged. It just doesn't look good for the stock in particular. Also, you recall on sometime last week I mentioned Biogen, BIIB. That company's share price or share trading was halted. Yeah, Biogen, the stock was halted on the New York Stock Exchange. Prior to that, you can see the street was expecting the new drug to get FDA approval. I think some members of staff of the FDA, I don't know if they went on the record or not, but the the news broke out somehow that yeah, it was a done deal. They were going to get the approval. And then come Wednesday, out of a panel of 9, 8 voted against and 1 in favor, and the stock was halted here. And then when he started trading again, it came down here. So this is where it opened, below where the gap started. It starts to gapped up from here all the way up, and then so this is where it is now. I was going to do a trade in it, but I couldn't because IV got crushed as well. Look at the IV on this thing, 30.3. So I did look at it to see if I could do anything, but I couldn't do anything. I think the halt just managed to take out, it gave the investors time to think about what they were going to do. The element of surprise had evaporated, so when it was unhalted, implied volatility got crushed. Moving on to the VIX. The VIX was down by about 5.4% today to close at 23.45. So the VIX is still above the crucial level of 20, and the VIX at the current level is quite supportive of option selling strategies, and I hope to find a couple more spreads for the December contract. And that takes me nicely onto my trade ideas. I had no new trade ideas for today, but I did have a new trade idea yesterday in BABA, and that trade idea was converted into a position which I'll cover very soon. There are now 9 days for the November contract to expire and 37 days for the December contract, and that means I have about 7 days to find a couple more trade ideas for the December contract, and that is exactly what I intend to do, to look for more, at least 2 more positions or 2 more trade ideas. Moving on to my open positions, I now have 1 open position in the November contract, and that's for SLV, and I now have 2 open positions in the December contract, and those are in ARKK and BABA. So starting with SLV, on SLV, I sold the 22.19.5 put spread for 52 cents. SLV sold off say earlier in the week or late last week. Sold off, and hold on, let's see where it closed today. SLV. So SLV closed at 22.52. And it seems that the short excursion that SLV had below the 22 level has now come to an end, and it appears to be consolidating above 22. And with 9 days until the November contract expiring, every passing day now should see quite a significant theta decay, and the premium should get eroded and get me close to my profit targets. So no action required on this one. I'm still hopeful it would close by all things being equal, if it remains around this level or anywhere above 22 going into Friday, or if it sees a short tick up from here, it should close this week. If it remains around the same level, I would say early next week, my profit target should be hit. So no action required on this one. My short 22 put is out of the money. The second position is in the December contract, and it's ARKK. I sold the 91.86 put spread for a credit of $1.30. So my short strike is 91. Let's see where ARKK closed. So ARKK closed at 98.73 here. My short 91 put is currently out of the money, and no action is required on this one. And the third and final one is in Alibaba, BABA. This is the one I opened yesterday. I sold the 250-245 put spread for a credit of $1.50. Then my short strike is a 250 put. Let's see where BABA closed today. So BABA closed at $265.65. My short 250 put strike is out of the money and no action is required on that position. And on my watch list for today, I have got ARKK, BABA, PEN, QDEL, TCO, and UNG. I'll quickly go through them one by one. So BABA is also on my list, and you can see IV on this one is 50, let's call it 56. That's why I hit my radar. ARKK. ARKK has got IV of 56, and that's why that's on my list. PEN. PEN is a new one on my list. IV 67. And that's why that one is on my list. QDEL. QDEL. IV must have just dropped in this when market closed. 49.6. I shall take this one off my list. It's below 50. TCO. TCO IV 79%. And finally, UNG. UNG IV is 54.5. And that brings me to the end of my journal. Main highlights of today's journal: I opened a new trade idea in BABA yesterday, and we now have 7 days until my window of opportunity closes for the December contract, and I'm hopeful to get a couple more trades before then. So as usual, keep an eye out for the trade idea alerts, and that's it. Have a good day. Thank you. Goodbye.